here.
So this is Sheriff Joe Arpaio, 24 years, longest serving sheriff in Maricopa County history. Sometimes I wonder how I lasted. But the reason I say that, I have 56 years in law enforcement all over the world. I'm not applying for a job. I just want to talk about Deborah. And she's got a beautiful name, Rose. I love her. My wife loves roses. So thank you for that great name. Easy?
Yeah.
Easy when you go to vote. That's very easy. Not like my name.
That's right.
So I first met you about a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Deborah was nice to have me on her show. And she impressed me on her conservatism, her loyalty, a patriot, and how she believed in our country and her love for the great town of Payson, Arizona, which is a suburb of my town of Fountain Hills, Arizona. Right. And so I didn't forget the meeting I had with her. She impressed me then, and I think I met her through Tom Morrissey, who's the mayor, the president of the United States. I've been with him from day one, when I introduced him in July 2015, when nobody would get on the stage, but I did. There's a silent majority out there, and please, all the voters of Payson, listen to what I'm saying. Deborah really, I'm going to use the word again, personifies what the president is all about. I've been with him from day one, and I will never desert him. Sometimes when you run for office with politicians, and I know that Deborah is a politician. You can't say I'm not a politician, because if you're running for office, you are a politician. But sometimes your political comments and philosophy comes from the heart, not from the political mind. And that's very important, to deal with the personality and the person you're voting for. When you talk about city councils, I believe that it's independent. Normally councils are not hooked up with any party. When you talk about swamps, you're really talking indirectly or directly with corruption. There is corruption in political systems. I think everybody knows that. And when you talk about the good old boy network, sometimes they call it swamp. Sometimes it leans towards corruption, even in the political system. Whether you start out as a city councilwoman or start out as a senator or whatever, when you really look at the political system, it's really the people that are members of the city council, which is very critical in its own way. But you have to understand, on a city council and a mayor, even though someone may say Payson is only 15,000 people, who cares? Yeah, the people that live there care. They care. And you may talk about voting for president and so on, but when you vote for a mayor or city council, that's critical. They're the ones that are going to decide, or at least push the button to get the higher ups in the political system to do something for your town. So knowing Deborah, I know that the politics comes from her heart, not the head, and worry about being reelected or on and on. So we need more people like Deborah, just doing this for the people, doesn't worry about the heat, and we'll get in there and do the job the right way, and not worried about, as I say, someone coming after her if she doesn't do the right thing, or coming after her to try to intimidate her or try to get her not elected, which somebody ought to ask the question, why are you so scared of Deborah becoming a city council person? Why? Why would you be scared? You sure know all the issues. If you interview me, which you did, I'm sure you knew what the role of a sheriff is. I'm sure you did a little research to see how do you spell law enforcement, and I would presume you know something about the juvenile and the other issues, problems facing Payson and the United States. Because Payson is part of the United States. Some big issues actually can trickle down to the town of Payson. Mm-hmm. When you talk about water rights, when you talk about law enforcement, a bad guy is a bad guy. Doesn't matter if he's in Chicago shooting people or passing through Payson. So law enforcement is very critical in a small town. It's because more critical. I'll tell you why. You don't have a big police department. You don't have machine guns and tanks, or the big cities do. You have to rely on your police department because, unfortunately, sometimes you don't have the tax base or the resources. So that's why it's critical to have someone in the council that understands law enforcement, is a friend of law enforcement, plus is willing to do what Deborah Rose believes in, is to defend the people of Payson, and which she knows, she's told me many times, that the people, they're the bosses, not these entrenched, bureaucratic people that maybe, I'm talking in the general terms, may think they're going to run the town or the city, and it's done because of the prestige. They get their name in the paper. All they want to do is get reelected. So we need more people like Deborah is doing it for one reason. In summarizing, one reason: to serve the people of Payson, regardless of any controversy, heat, pressure. Her bosses, she's told me many times, are the people in Payson. So that's why I support Deborah. She's a great person, and she will be a great councilwoman. So make sure you vote for Deborah Rose. Easy name, beautiful name. Make sure you vote for her if you want to have a great town and great elected official.